All right, now that you've had your pranayama practice, or maybe not, still you're ready to come to the top of the mat for the asana practice. So standing in Tadasana, plant the feet, body weight in the heels, arms by the sides, slight external rotation, palms forward, and then inhale up, look up. Exhale, arms by your side. Eyes forward, inhale, second time, lift up with the inhale, palms kiss, exhale, arms down by your side. With the breath, inhale, up, look up, long spine. Come up onto the toes if you want a little bit of a balance challenge. Eyes up and then heels down on the exhale. Eyes forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up, palms together, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, this time folding forward, bending the knees. Hands come down to the mat, forward fold, relax the head. Inhale, half lift, eyes forward, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Keeping the bend in the knees. Right leg step back, left leg step back. You can bring the knees to the floor, then chest and chin sliding forward to low cobra. Untuck the toes, neck long, look up. Exhale, back down, pushing into the palms. Tuck the toes, coming through tabletop, and then lifting into your downward facing dog. Keeping a nice long line with the spine, shoulders wide. The heels pressing toward the floor. They do not need to meet the floor. Thighs firm, gazing toward the navel. Notice your breath. Inhale. Exhale, and just be there for a moment. When you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, and then step forward with feet together, big toes touching. Inhale to half lift, long spine. Exhale to forward fold. Slight bend in the knees. Get ready to inhale, curling up one vertebra at a time. Drawing shoulders up, back down, shoulder blades a little closer, arms rotate, palms forward, eyes forward. Again, inhale, eyes up, look up. Exhale, forward fold with a little bend in your knees. Palms on the floor. Relax the head, and then inhale, half lift to a flat spine. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Step back, right leg, left leg, the toes tucked, coming into plank. My hips are a little high. Ideally, you would be one long line. You can hold that plank, drawing the belly in and up, or bring the knees to the floor, chest, chin. Inhale, pressing up, curling up into your low cobra. On the exhale, press into the palms, curl those toes, lift up through plank, or through tabletop, find your downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is a great place to be still and challenge yourself to focus on your breathing. If you'd like to walk your dog, bending one knee at a time, right, left, warming those hamstrings up maybe. The belly drawn in, spine long. When you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, and then step forward. Feet together, fold forward, then inhale, half lift. Look forward, exhale, forward fold. Should be loosening up a little bit. Bend the knees. Inhale and round up, one vertebra at a time. Shoulders up, back down. Draw the shoulder blades slightly together. Stand tall, long spine. Eyes forward. Inhale, eyes up, look up, sweep the arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, forward fold. Palms down, relax the head. Inhale, half lift, eyes forward. Exhale, bend the knees and step back. Right leg, left leg coming into your plank. Try to get the hips down. I could improve here if you're looking at the screen. One long line is where you're going. You are always welcome to modify by keeping the knees on the floor. If you're trying to build strength, it's good to hold that plank for a little bit. Untucking the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press up, think strong. And then exhale, rolling over the toes if you can, or stepping, downward facing dog. You can keep that movement, bending the knees, right leg left, eventually just pressing the heels toward the floor. They don't have to meet the floor. Long spine, shoulders wide, pressure in the fingertips and not just in the wrist. All right, we're going to twist the dog. So left arm comes to outer right shin, reaching in the direction of the right ankle, just a little twist. And then lift the right arm and try to grab the other calf. Little twist, looking under the arm. Just see how that feels. And then planting the palms, downward facing dog. Knees to the ground. Start to walk the palms forward, coming into puppy pose, opening the chest, opening the upper spine. You can keep the forehead on the floor or on a pillow. If you're pretty open, you can even start to bring the chin to the floor, looking forward. Pressing the chest toward the floor, the hips are lifted. Try to find some space. Try to find some comfort, even in slight discomfort, and breathe. And then forward to the floor again, press back up into your downward facing dog. If in doubt, try to keep it wider. Look forward, bend the knees, and start to walk forward. Inhale up, half lift, exhale, forward fold. Padangustasana. Grab the either big toe with your middle and index finger. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, forward fold. So for Padangustasana, you're going to have the most stability if the feet are separated about 6 inches, about hips width distance. If you got a lot of flexibility in the hamstrings, you can start to bend the elbows, going for a straighter spine. Eventually, the hamstrings will open and the legs will be straight. If the legs are straight, firm up the thighs. But if you've got to keep the bend in the knees, no big deal. Think hips up, spine long. And then to come out, inhale, half lift, releasing the toes. Exhale, forward fold. Another variation. We're going to slide the palms under either foot. Use your toes, inhale, half lift. Exhale, release over the thighs, forward fold. So stomach in contact with the thighs, and start to just wiggle the toes and the creases of the wrist, rewarding the wrist for all the hard work they've been doing in these vinyasa movements. And then releasing palms to the floor, bend the knees, inhale, delicious curl up, one vertebra at a time. Take your sweet time, eyes forward, long spine. Stepping feet back together, bend the knees, coming into your Utkatasana posture. So maximum body weight in the heels, the spine is long, the shoulders wide, hands about shoulder width distance apart. Try to sit a little bit lower. Feel those thighs fire up. Forward fold to come out. Inhale, half lift, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, step back, right leg, left leg. Strong torso. Coming chaturanga or knees, chest, and chin, transitioning either to cobra or upward facing dog, rolling over the toes to downward facing dog. So you can always choose to modify by taking tabletop. Lift the left leg, step left leg forward between the hands. Lower the right knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep arms overhead. So like the crescent lunge, but with the back knee on the floor. The forward knee should be over the ankle. And if you have healthy knees, you can press forward slightly, open opening up the hip flexor, this time left hip flexor. Try to draw the right hip crease back as you press the left hip forward, and if you want extra, reach back with the left hand to grab the left foot and pull the left heel toward your hip. Think of the inner thighs hugging together, keeping the core engaged, breathing into the stretch. And then release. Bring the left hand or fingertips to the floor, looking up. Inhale, right arm up as you lift the back knee. Twisted lunge. Eyes looking toward the upper hand. And then right hand down. Step left foot back, coming into your plank. Lower down chaturanga or tabletop, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up to cobra. Tuck the toes. Press up. You can move through plank or just straight through tabletop to find your downward facing dog again. All right, we got two sides. So opposite leg up and forward, finding that lunge. Bring the back knee to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Shoulders wide, palms facing each other. You can also bring the hands to the thigh if you feel a little too wobbly with the hands up. And when you're ready, pressing forward, a little extra stretch through the right hip crease this time. The left knee is over the left ankle heel. If it extends a little beyond in the direction of the toes, that's okay too, as long as it's tracking with the toes and as long as that knee feels okay. Any knee pain at all, please back off. Be careful with your knees. If you want the extra stretch, reach back to grab the back foot, right hand to the right foot, and pull the heel toward the hip. And release. Right hand to the floor or to a block. Coming into the twist, lift the back knee, look up, lift up, stretch up like you're trying to grab a star. Eyes looking at the upper palm. Pull the left hip crease back and then left hand down, plant the palm, step the forward foot back, find the plank and lower into your chaturanga all the way to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Press back, curl those toes through plank or through tabletop to downward facing dog. If it feels good, walk your dog. Maybe bending the knees to bring the belly toward the thighs and then pressing the heels toward the floor. Long legs, long spine. On an exhale, bend the knees, look forward, either step or hop forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Release the head on those forward folds. Bend the knees and lift back up into your chair posture before standing, hands to heart, arms by your side, Samastiti. Back to chair on the exhale. Palms face each other. Palms down to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, look forward. Exhale, fold forward, palms to the floor, and then step back, right leg, left leg, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Lift your arms overhead, finding your crescent, warrior one. The right back heel is on the floor, back foot at 45-degree angle. Try to sit a little bit lower if you want to challenge yourself in this warrior one. Shoulders wide, palms facing each other. Pull the right hip forward, try to pull the left hip crease back, and then opening warrior two. You may have to adjust your stance by stepping the feet a little wider apart. Fingertips to fingertips, stretch to infinity. Notice your breathing. Sit a little bit lower. Eyes gazing forward over the forward fingertips, and then reverse the warrior. Right hand comes down to the right shin. Inhale, left hand up and over. Look to the left palm. Windmill the arms down either side of the forward foot. Step forward, foot back, finding your plank or tabletop, and lower through your vinyasa. Knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Upward dog to downward facing dog. Right leg lift, other side. Step forward between the palms and lift up. Warrior one. Make sure that the heels are either in line or even separated by a little gap. You never want them to crisscross that imaginary line because you'll wobble. Stretching out through the fingertips, palms face each other. Try to sit a little bit lower. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Maybe even using your hands to just feel the hips in space. Try to sit lower. If in doubt, go with a wider step on these postures. Coming down into warrior two. So this is an open hip posture versus warrior one closed hip posture. Stretching arms apart in opposite directions, imagining lightning bolts or maybe shooting through the fingertips. Try to sit into that forward knee, and then when you're ready, inhale, reverse the warrior. Eyes up, look up toward the upper palm. Bottom hand stretching down toward the calf. Windmill to come out, palms down, step forward, foot back. Lower through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Enjoy this place where you are. Enjoy the breath. You can always bend the knees and bring the stomach toward the thighs before straightening the legs again. Firm up the thighs, pressing the heels toward the floor. It never matters if they meet the floor, only that you feel something. Be strong in the torso, belly in, and when you're ready, bend the knees. Look forward, step, hop, float forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it forward, relax the head. Up to Utkatasana, chair pose, sit low, and then on the exhale, arms down, Samastitihi. Inhale, eyes up, look up, sweep the arms up, palms together. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you're getting a little warm. Inhale, half lift, look forward. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, step or hop back. Find the plank, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can always take a child's pose break when you need. Let's see, lift, left leg. Is that my left or my right? Right leg. Rotate the ankle, open the hip, stacking the hips, bend the right knee, look over the opposite shoulder, find the foot in space, and then come out the opposite way. Right knee to forehead. Before you step forward, finding your crescent lunge, high on the back toes. Feel strong in the front leg 90-degree angle, arms separated, shoulders width distance. An alternate modification is to bring the back knee to the floor if you need extra stability. Hold and breathe. Feel strong. Feel thighs pressing toward the center line of the body. Belly stays strong. Then opening to twisted crescent lunge. So taking a twist to the right, open the arms wide. What makes you feel wobbly? What makes you feel strong? Try to turn on those muscles that help you to stabilize. Reversing, taking left arm overhead, right arm toward the back calf. If you dare, look up toward that upper palm. And then windmill, arms down, palms flat, step back, and lower chaturanga vinyasa. However you wish, this is your practice. Upward dog or cobra to downward facing dog. Stay and breathe. If you ever feel out of breath, just stay where you are and breathe. Back off, find the breath, start again. Lift the opposite leg, whichever one you did the first time. Lifting it about parallel to the floor, rotate the ankle, and then point the toes before you open the hip, stacking the hip. Try to keep even pressure in the palms. Bend the upper knee, look over the right shoulder, and find your foot. Give it another rotation or two, coming out the opposite way. Unwind the posture. Right. And as I add this voiceover, I realize I've forgotten the other side. So keep that left leg lifted and then sweep it through forward to knee before stepping into your crescent lunge. Stay low in the front leg. 90-degree angle is ideal. Holding the crescent lunge and then opening to twisted lunge before you move into the reverse lunge. All right, now we're all caught up. Eyes forward, look forward from downward dog, step hop, float forward, inhale, half lift, exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees, inhale, curl up one vertebra at a time, shoulders wide, samastitihi. Notice your breathing. When you're ready, inhale, look up, arms sweep up, palms together before you fold forward, hinging at the hips. Lots of that today. Inhale, half lift, eyes forward, long spine. Plant the palms, bend the knees, step back, finding your plank, lower through chaturanga, either cobra to upward facing dog, cobra or upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Strong downward facing dog. Nice long spine, nice long legs, that inverted shape. Then lift the right leg up. First flexing the foot before pointing the toes, then open the hip, bend the right knee. And this time we're going to flip it over into wild thing. If you don't want to flip, you can do what we did last time and simply bend the knee, looking over the shoulder to find the foot. If you're in wild thing, extending right arm long, looking toward fingertips, and then look to the floor before you bring the right hand to the floor, coming out opposite way. Other side. Notice your breath. Lift the left leg, flex the foot, and then point the toes, open the hip. Start to stack the hips, bend the knee, and flip it over. Keep lifting, strong through the bottom arm, lifting through the hips, the torso. Stretch left arms up and over, forward. Look toward the fingertips to come out. Look back to the floor before bringing the hand down and unwind legs opposite way you entered. Bringing knees to the floor, knees wide, big toes together. Coming to balasana. Take a little bit of a rest, forehead to the floor. Feel nice and heavy, grounded through the hips, through the chest, and just breathe. Nice and easy breathing. Notice the effect on your heart rate. Then curling toes, coming back, find your downward facing dog. Eyes forward, look forward, and you can just step forward. Keeping the toes wide, inhale, half lift. Toes, feet about hips width distance apart. Gonna take a little ragdoll to unwind a little bit more. Grabbing either elbow, hinging at the hips. Maybe a little swaying, bending the right knee, the right knee, left knee, just releasing the spine. And then slowly curl up, one vertebra at a time, all the way to the top. Roll those shoulders back and down. Step the feet together. All right. Then stepping out to a wide stance, sideways on your mat. Heels in one line, turn the toes in just a little bit. Draw the belly in, keep your thighs nice and firm. Arms wide, you're a big star. Eyes forward, long spine, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Bringing the palms to the floor in front of the feet. Or if you don't feel very flexible, it's hard to get your hands down there, you can always use something like a block to support you. So at first, just long spine, hands front, and when everything starts to open, the hamstrings open, you can start to bring the palms to the floor, maybe even walking the palms back in line with the toes, the feet. Make sure that you're not carrying tension in the neck. Give it a little wiggle. Bring the body weight more toward the toes, not so much in the heels. And to come out, hands to hips, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale before you inhale to lift all the way. Second variation, clasp the palms behind your back. So interlacing the fingers. If that's hard, you can also use a towel as an extender, or you can just grab either elbow. And then hinging at the hips, fold forward, nice and firm thighs. The toes parallel or even turned in a little bit. So grabbing either elbows, perfectly acceptable variation. If you're super open in your shoulders, the palms are squeezed together and eventually will come forward and touch the floor. Opening the shoulders. Enjoy the effect of gravity helping to open your hamstrings, lengthen your spine. And when you're ready to come out, inhale, back up, opposite way. It feels good. Release the bind, and then third one. Arms out to the side, stretch, stretch, forward, fold on the exhale. This time, using those middle index fingers to grab the big toe. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward, fold. If you can't grab the toes, no big deal. Just place the palms on the floor. If the palms don't reach the floor, use a block or just let them hang in space. Forward folds are a total spectrum. Everybody's very different. If you are able to forward fold deeply, you can bend the elbows out to the side. Keep drawing shoulders away from the ears. Think of wide shoulders, long spine, firm thighs. Inhale, half lift, release, hands to the waist, exhale, and then inhale to lift up. All right, step forward, top of the mat. Arms by your side, little breath check. Then we're going to come into malasana. So the feet a little bit more than hips width distance. And this depends on your ankle mobility. Mine is really kind of limited. So I turn my toes out a little more than most. If you're able to keep the feet parallel, then do it. If you're not able to, I'm not able to, you can turn the toes out to modify. Bending the knees, make sure the knees are tracking in the same direction as the toes. Allow gravity to pull the hips low. If it feels uncomfortable, you don't feel stable, no big deal. You can bring a block or something to sit on under the hips. Allow the elbows to press into the inner thighs close to the knees to help the knees position themselves in line with the toes. So you don't want the knees falling in. You can stay there for a while. And when you're ready, we're going to come onto something low, like a rolled towel or a thin pillow or something, just to orient the hips, tilting a little forward, Baddha Konasana, bound pose. Bring the soles of the feet together if you're able to, holding the outsides of the feet. My hips are fairly open for the external rotation, so my knees are close to the floor, but most people need or want a little bit of a cushion or support underneath the legs if their legs don't come all the way to the floor. So wherever you're comfortable, use your props liberally. And then coming out, Janu Shirshasana. Pull that left foot in toward the groin. Left foot is pressing into the inner right thigh. Arms up, overhead, turn to the right, and reach down to grab the outsides of the right foot. Think long spine. If you're thinking, no way, I can't grab the foot, so grab closer to the knee, somewhere on the shin, or whatever you can grab. Long spine to start. And then, second part, chin to the chest. Forehead to the knee. Forehead doesn't touch the knee, maybe forehead to a block. Be creative with your props. If If you have questions, feel free to email me. All right, lifting back up with a long spine, switch the legs. You can use your hands to help you. Turn to the left. Reach down to grab the outsides of the left foot. Long spine. Keep thinking about that long spine, and then chin to the chest, round down, forehead to this knee. Keep those fingers interlaced. Try to bend the elbows toward the floor, but again, it's only the intention. It does not have to meet that goal. The belly is drawn in, and then inhale, head up, lengthen through the arms, coming out opposite way. We're going to go to a fire log pose, a hip opener. So bending one leg in front of you, 90-degree angle, as close as possible. Opposite legs stacked like fire logs, one on top of the other. If you have a gap between the top knee and the foot, you can place a block or a pillow in between for some support. If this is painful, you can open up the legs, slide them apart so that maybe the feet are stacked. So it's a little bit of a looser stack. Find a place where you feel the outer rotation, but that you can sustain the posture. Taking it to a twist, left hand back behind, lift right arm long. Right hand grabs the left knee, inhale up and look over the back shoulder, spinal twist. Keep that spine long, the head, neck lifted. Inhale back to center, other side. First, maybe a little shake of the legs. Get the blood circulating. One side might be really different than the other, and that is normal. If you need the blocks for support, take the blocks for support. When you have your spot, stay here. You can even pause the video. You can hold this posture for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, allowing that hip rotation to open. And then taking the twist this side, right hand behind, lift the left arm up and over, left hand grabs the opposite knee, inhale, spine long, look over the right shoulder, take a twist. Keep the chest broad. You can inhale, and then on the exhale, look for more twist again. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist, and then exhaling to come out. Give the legs a little shake, shake. Moving on. All right, we've been doing a lot of forward folding. Let's do it on the floor. The legs energized, feet together and flexed. Inhale up and then reach forward to grab the big toes if you can. Keep the spine long. You don't have to fold all the way. Better to keep the spine long, the feet flexed, to really feel what's happening in the hamstrings. Some find more comfort by keeping a pillow or a rolled towel underneath the knees. Feet flexed, all 10 toes pulling back towards you, eyes forward, spine long. Be here and breathe. And then release. Remove the pillow. We're going to roll it on down, vertebra by vertebra, just like we're rolling to standing, right? Just different orientation. All the way down. When we're moving, pull the right knee toward the right shoulder, avoiding the rib cage. Interlace fingers, tight grip, pull the knee down toward the torso. Activating the hip joint and assisting in digestion. The chin is a little to the chest. Even if you have like a double chin like I do here, no big deal. Nobody's watching. Left knee comes up, left knee toward the left shoulder. Pulling with a lot of force here. The right leg stays long. If the right calf starts to lift, flex the right foot, and then left leg down. Both legs in, grab the elbows over the legs, and then just be there. Think of the spine unfurling toward the ground, chin a little to the chest, activating Jalandhara Bandha, the feet together, big toes touching, and then holding the outsides of the knees. Roll, roll, roll. You get a little spinal massage here. Roll, roll, roll. And then pause with the feet off the floor if you can, engaging your abdominals, lifting up to Navasana. You can keep straight legs, or a modification is to bend the knees. The chest is open, the shoulders wide, fingers stretching forward in the direction of the toes. And here we go, abs. Slow, lower down and lift. Lower down and lift. I suggest watching the video before you do it. You're trying to lower down until the feet are hovering, the arms hovering off the floor, but keeping the lower back pressing toward the floor, really firing up your abs. Do about 5 of these, or whatever feels right for you. Hold the last one, and then let it go. Oh, yeah, felt that. All right, we're going to take a bridge pose. So bend the knees, feet about hips width distance. Maybe the fingers can touch the backs of the heels and pressing into the palms, the arms, the feet, lifting the hips up. Bridge, you know bridge, chin to the chest. So not squinching the neck. The neck should be long, but you're engaging this Jalandhara Bandha. And then maybe lifting one leg, the other leg. If you wish, you can do a little bit more external hip stuff by crossing either leg over the one that's on the ground. Taking a figure 4. You can always pause this video. These postures are great, held for a little bit longer time. Press, one last bridge, and then lower down one vertebra at a time. Hug those knees in. You're doing great. So well. High five to you for showing up on your mat. All right, feet come back down, arms by your side. Little supine twist to unwind the spine. Allow the knees to just fall to one side. Arms, cactus arms are stretched out to either side. Look over the opposite shoulder to where the knees are pointing. And if it makes you feel good, supported, use a block or a pillow, either in between the knees or underneath both knees. Let's take it to the other side, maybe shifting the hips a little to the left before you allow the knees to fall to the right. Looking over left shoulder. The more you allow gravity to work on the body in this supine twist, the better, the deeper you will move into your twist. This is a passive posture. And then lifting the knees. All right, let's go legs up the wall. Whether or not you actually use a wall. Feel free to use a wall. It's the ultimate prop. It's not going anywhere. Or you can just kind of slide your palms down, thumbs underneath the hips to give you a little bit of support. Orienting the hips a little bit. Better yet, a cushion just under the edge. You'll see the difference when you try. The knees can keep a slight bend. What's happening here is that circulation is changing. This is a very gentle inversion, no balance required. So all of the blood is flooding to the torso, to the brain. Brain likes this. All this oxygenated blood, you've been breathing a little bit faster. The heart rate has been elevated. The blood is hyperoxygenated, so the brain will benefit from that. And then after you've had enough of legs up the wall, taking it to a happy baby, bend the knees toward the armpits, maybe straightening one leg, straightening the other leg. You want to take a little straddle? This is a good place to do it. Pulling the heels down, opening the legs. Find the spot that feels good for you, a nice stretch. Holding happy baby as long as you wish. This one can also be held for a while to help the hips open over time. Finally, hugging everything into center, forehead to the knees. And then slowly bringing the legs down. Maybe wiggle shoulder blades a little bit closer to each other. Think of a long neck and spine, palms facing up. fingers relaxed. Shavasana. You earned this one. Feel the body, head to toe. What has changed? What feels good? And then checking in with your primary tool, your breath. Feel the belly rise on the inhale, the belly falling on the gentle exhales. Allow the breath to bring more weight to the body so that your body can relax even more deeply. And only when you are ready, gently rolling to one side, underneath arms supporting the head, fetal position, a few breaths here. Gently, slowly pressing into that bottom palm, lifting yourself back to a seated position, taking any seated position that feels good. Easy pose Sukhasana, half lotus, whatever. You can use a little block or pillow under the hips or not. Palms on the knees or the backs of the hands, spine long. Take a moment here contemplating all of your good work. Maybe sending your positive energy out to the world, out to someone who needs it. Enjoying your breath, being conscious of the breath. Palms together, thumbs to the third eye. Finishing our practice either saying or just thinking namaste. Great job today. See you next week.